This is CTV News with Michelle Brunoro.
2023, our calls for service at this detachment alone have gone up sharply. They've gone up 23%.
Tonight, Sooke RCMP struggled to respond to a growing caseload. He says without additional officers, 24-hour coverage may become a thing of the past. Also ahead.
You have a greater chance of being admitted to hospital than any other age group that we see.
Seniors in Nanaimo getting their own space away from the chaos of the emergency room. Plus, Adam finds out how a thrift store discovery in Port Alberni led to the realization of a musical dream 58 years in the making. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. We begin tonight in Sooke, where there is concern over policing as the community grows. The RCMP is warning without more funding, there could be cuts to service. CTV's Brendan Strain with more on what the service is asking for and what the mayor says needs to be done to fund their request.
The District of Sooke is one of the fastest growing municipalities in BC, and that has come with an increase in crime.
Since 2023, our calls for service at this detachment alone have gone up sharply. They've gone up 23%.
Sooke RCMP have 14 officers budgeted for its detachment, which this year will work out to be one police officer for every 1,293 people.
And unfortunately, that's the worst ratio in the province.
Last week, Staff Sergeant Greg Wilcox went before Sooke Council asking for funding for 2 new officers, as well as 2 new support staff, while also providing 3 options he could implement if that ask isn't met.
I don't like any of those options whatsoever, and I don't want to see them happen here in Sooke.
Those include the elimination of 24-hour service, disbanding its investigation service, or to scale back service for non-priority calls.
I do think that Sooke needs more police officers.
Those living in the municipality are weighing in.
I think that they need to keep it as is and probably add to.
We also need to recognize the homeowners' ability to pay.
Sooke's mayor says each additional RCMP officer costs the municipality roughly $260,000, meaning this ask could cost upwards of $700,000. She says it is something council is considering, but would potentially have to be funded through either an increase in property taxes or a cut to other services.
1% tax increase in Sooke generates around $120,000 in revenue.
The mayor says there has been a lot of financial pressures put on municipalities that is making it hard to balance budgets without raising taxes, including a recent bill from the province for 911 services.
Last year, it was nearly a 4% tax increase to fund 911, and service remains the same.
We want to ensure that when the public calls 911, we're able to go and provide a good service to them and continue doing that.
RCMP in Sooke say since 2010, it has only received 3 new budgeted police officers, and now it has become evident that the detachment has fallen far behind the municipality's rapid growth. Brendan Strain, CTV News, Sooke.
Vancouver Island police departments are voicing their support for a plan to facilitate the federal government's buyback program for assault-style firearms. The BC Association of Chiefs of Police is proposing a collection unit where people can drop off firearms recently banned by the federal government. The Oak Bay, Victoria, and Saanich police departments, along with the BC RCMP, say they'll participate in the initiative. Saanich police say the logistics of how the unit will work, who will staff it, how long it will run, and how it will be funded are still in the works.
Southern Vancouver Island will have one designated collection point that will be south of the Malahat, and we will work out that location later and communicate it to the public.
The federal buyback program aims to reduce the number of banned weapons circulating around the country by offering owners a financial incentive for turning them over. Some police departments say they won't help the feds with the buyback. The Toronto Police Department says it's opting out because no operationally viable plan was presented. Well, the busiest emergency room on Vancouver Island is about to add a new feature catered towards seniors. Seniors make up the largest portion of the visitors to the hospital, and for them, visits can be stressful. But as CTV's Andy Garland explains, there's an effort underway to make the experience more comfortable.
On average, roughly 180 people walk through the doors of the ER at Nanaimo Regional General Hospital each day.
And 35% of those people are above the age of 75.
And half of those seniors will have a longer stay in hospital.
You have a greater chance of being admitted to hospital than any other age group that we see.
Emergency rooms can be a stressful and triggering place for patients. Island Health says the risk of confusion and delirium can be increased when those patients are seniors.
Can be very disorienting. The lights, the noise, other people who are maybe having a negative reaction and are loud.
To alleviate that, the Nanaimo Hospital is creating a space within the existing ER where seniors can go to be away from the chaos to a more quiet space geared towards their needs.
To give them the best experience they can have when they're coming to our ER.
The specialized unit would include access to 13 new pressure-reducing beds, reclining lift chairs, soft lighting, noise reduction, and specialized trained staff.
To be more friendly to the seniors population. So it's things like equipment that is specialized to that patient population.
Island Health says the future senior-friendly emergency unit may even be the first in the province.
As far as we can see through our research and our examination of and all of those different pieces, we're the first to try and put all of the pieces together.
The Nanaimo Hospital Foundation raised $1.2 million during its annual winter campaign for the seniors ER.
This really is a voice of support and affirmation for this concept, and I think for our hospital, it's a really great news story.
Construction will begin soon and is expected to open later this year. Andy Garland, CTV News, Nanaimo.
A distress call launched a high-flying search and rescue effort off Vancouver Island. A distress call from a fishing vessel deep in the Pacific sparked the Canadian military search and rescue response. A Cormorant helicopter and Kingfisher aircraft both launched from Comox, quickly arriving near the boat off Haida Gwaii. As the aircraft hovered above, the chopper conducted a daring hoist rescue. One patient was safely removed during the Sunday operation and taken to a higher level of care.
So if you're going to send a helicopter out over the ocean for any length of distance, they will normally send a fixed wing aircraft to act as top cover and to relay information. The Kingfisher obviously now has sensors and video, so Canada is now getting a chance to see the great work that SAR is doing.
The camera used has normal color video, a low light video camera, an infrared camera, and can display a moving map and radar, which can find surface vessels and aircraft. Uptown Shopping Centre is stepping up to support the children of a woman killed earlier this month in Saanich. Every year, Uptown hosts Family Day photo sessions, which cost $25. This year, all proceeds are going to the GoFundMe campaign for Laura Gover's two daughters. The respected business professor was found dead in her home on January 5th, and her ex-husband is charged with her murder. The GoFundMe has raised $335,000, which will help cover her daughter's basic needs, counseling, and future academic costs.
Shopping centers by nature are community gathering places, and we noted that the community is stepping up and supporting this family in the most admirable way possible, and we're so honored to be a conduit to be able to facilitate funds going to that.
Uptown's family photo sessions run for the first 2 weekends in February during shopping center hours. Appointments are booking up quickly. They can be made on Uptown's website. A bulldog in Cowichan is lucky to be alive after a Good Samaritan spotted the puppy in a ditch off a highway near Duncan. Earlier this month, Spooner was found on Lake Cowichan Road, unable to move. The SPCA wasn't sure how long she had been left in the ditch. She had a broken front leg, was very thin, and had puncture wounds inside both her ears, with abrasions and scabbing on her face and body. The Cowichan SPCA says the puppy required surgery on her leg and will take 8 to 12 weeks to recover.
They're guessing that the injury was a few days old at that point when they saw her. They called us to take over her care. Right off the bat, the emergency vet that saw her said she was very sweet and affectionate with the staff there, and the fosters saying the exact same thing. Her nickname is Spoon because apparently she just loves cuddling up with people and just lying there and loves attention.
Once Spooner is healed and at a healthy weight, she will be up for adoption. The polarizing Cowichan Tribes versus Canada trial could be reopened if a Richmond property company has its way. Montrose Properties has applied to the BC Supreme Court to be added as a party in the case and have the trial reopened. Montrose Property owns land that was ruled a part of the Cowichan land claim in South Richmond. The City of Richmond, province, and the federal government are appealing the decision, which ruled in Cowichan's favor in August. The Supreme Court hearing is scheduled for February 11th and 12th in Victoria. And right now it's 6 degrees in Victoria, and we'll be back with your full forecast after the break.
CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Make the most of your next vacation by booking with those who've been there. Visit expediacruises.ca.
What makes West Shore Parks and Recreation a perfect place to play? It's our staff, working behind the scenes to keep the pool safe, kids engaged, and programs thriving. So apply today and join our team.
And Ann joins us now with a look at our weather. You know, we had the streak of sunshine, but things seem to be shifting.
Yes, so make sure you keep your umbrellas handy because more rain on the way. We do have a yellow wind warning in effect for the northern tip of Vancouver Island, slowly easing as we head through the evening hours. So here's a look at our storm tracker. Rain right now for north and west and inland sections of Vancouver Island. Through the overnight hours into tomorrow morning, the next system will push its way in, bringing in rain heavy at times, especially for west coast of Vancouver Island. It'll continue as we head into tomorrow night. So for the North Island, you're looking at winds gusting to 80 kilometers an hour with periods of rain, 9 degrees, 10 for Thursday and Friday with showers, and then we'll see periods of rain for the weekend for Saturday and Sunday. For inland Vancouver Island, 10 to 15 millimeters of rain expected, continuing into Thursday, slowly easing to showers on Friday, clouding over on Sunday before the next system pushes its way in. For Sunday, for the west coast, you'll see upwards of 40 millimeters of rain, highs to 10, double-digit highs right through until the weekend, 13 on Saturday, 10 degrees on Sunday with periods of rain. For Comox, you'll see 10 to 15 millimeters of rain tomorrow as well. Steady rain for Thursday, tapering off into showers for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, warming up to 12 degrees on Friday. For Nanaimo, it'll be soggy tomorrow, Thursday, slowly transitioning over to showers for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with a high of 12 on Friday. And Victoria, we'll see afternoon showers tomorrow, warming up to 10 degrees, double-digit highs for the rest of the week. Heading into the weekend, drying up for Saturday, 10 degrees, and then on Sunday, we'll see showers and a high of 11. CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So it's going to be soggy for the rest of the week.
Yeah, all I saw was rain, and cloudy skies.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks for that, Ann. Mark Carney is holding firm to his highly regarded speech to the World Economic Forum in Davos. This despite claims by a Donald Trump insider that the Prime Minister aggressively walked back some of his remarks in a phone call with the U.S. president. CTV's senior political correspondent Mike LeCouture on the war of words between the two leaders.
I meant what I said in Davos.
Prime Minister Mark Carney stood by his speech during a phone call with U.S. President Donald Trump. The 30-minute conversation covered Arctic security, Venezuela, and Canada's agreement with China.
I explained to him what we're doing, 12 new deals on 4 continents in 6 months. He was impressed. And what we intend to do going forward, as well as the opportunity to, of course, move forward on CUSMA.
Let's talk about the Prime Minister, or if you prefer, Governor of Canada.
12 hours earlier, the U.S. Treasury Secretary says he was on that call and characterized the conversation differently.
He spoke to Prime Minister Carney, who was very aggressively walking back some of the unfortunate remarks he made at Davos.
Asked specifically about that.
So you didn't walk back your comments?
No.
But there was no public readout of the conversation between Trump and Carney, something the Conservatives are criticizing. Michael Chong wrote on social media, "It is unacceptable that Canadians and journalists learned of this recent call from American media." Besson's comments come days after Trump threatened to impose 100% tariffs on Canada if the government signs a free trade agreement with China, something Carney says he's not pursuing. Political analysts believe the current strategy is to keep calm.
Trump is going to make noise. He's going to flash. He's going to swear. He's going to stamp his feet. Just take a breath, take a moment. Chances are the storm will pass, and it has.
The Prime Minister says he reiterated in his conversation with the President that Canada is responding to the change in U.S. trade policy by building new partnerships abroad, including with China. And Carney says Trump understood that. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Jury selection in a landmark U.S. trial today involving several social media giants. The platforms are accused of deliberately addicting and harming teens. It's happening as France today went the way of Australia, introducing a law restricting social media access to the young. CTV's Abigail Biman looks into enforcement and whether Canada plans to go the same route.
France's National Assembly votes in favor of a social media ban for children under 15. The president wants the ban in place by the next school year, posting, "Because our children's brains are not for sale." While in LA, a landmark series of trials begins with parents, teens, and school districts taking social media giants to court over addiction claims. Snapchat and TikTok reportedly settled in advance, leaving Meta, Facebook and Instagram's parent company, and YouTube.
We haven't landed on anything yet.
In Canada, the government is planning new online harm legislation after the last bill died with the Trudeau government, but no update on when or whether it will include a similar ban to France and Australia.
The objective of a new Online Harms Act would be to protect kids, first and foremost. And also there's legitimate concern of the state protecting freedom of expression, and that is also key. So there's a balancing act.
It can be used as a very vicious tool to harass, bully, stalk, defame, hurt people.
Lawyer Ma'anit Zemel's office gets at least a call a day looking for help. She's calling for nuanced regulations that are enforceable and tailored to specific harms like cyberbullying or overuse, saying a full-out ban is not the answer.
The kids just get around it by using, whether it's VPNs or just saying they're older. And, from a legal perspective here, it might be challenged for all kinds of reasons.
CTV News reached out to Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, and Meta. By deadline, only Meta responded, saying they'll comply with any regulations, but governments considering bans should be careful not to push teens towards unregulated, less safe sites. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Coming up, record reborn. Adam finds out what happened after a local music fan spent years searching for the musicians behind an unexpected thrift store find. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
See it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Finally, Adam finds out how an unexpected thrift store discovery in Port Alberni inspired a music fan in Victoria to help a musician on the mainland realize a lifelong dream. On the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Let's see. This was not the first time that Marcus Pollard had found an old acetate record in a thrift store with no name on the label and lots of damage on the disc, and bought it anyway.
Because every time I go, yeah, there might be something cool on that, and there never is.
Never. Until now.
And it instantly hit me like a brick.
It was a visceral rush, Marcus says, that compelled him to consult with music historians and scour the internet to find out who he was hearing.
Anybody know this? And it was just no.
And after 2 years worth of no's on an obscure garage band blog, Marcus finally found a yes.
This guy goes, hey, that's my record.
That was Norm Roth, now a warehouse manager who hadn't heard his songs in more than 50 years.
I'm flabbergasted. Yeah, really am. Flabbergasted.
While Marcus celebrated solving the mystery,
it was exciting.
Norm relished traveling back in time.
When I was 18 years old. I'm 77 now.
The band was called The Glass Cage, and during the late 60s, their songs, ranging from teen angst to youthful exuberance, proved so popular they graduated from playing around their small town to getting gigs in the big city.
What we were hoping to do is we're going to be rock stars, right?
Although The Glass Cage broke up before they could realize that dream, and this one recording of them playing live was misplaced along the way, Marcus met all the living members of the band with a plan to bring their music back to life.
I feel that everybody has kind of done something in their life that was dismissed. I wanted them to feel that what they created was actually important.
So, Marcus, who's a veteran music promoter, spent the next 8 years teaming up with professionals to digitally refurbish the recording and package it along with a book documenting the band's role in the local music scene before preparing to release it globally.
I'm not looking for accolades or superstardom. That's long gone. It's just saying to the world sort of thing, I was here.
And that's how a determined music fan helped a record be reborn and a grateful musician found overnight success after 58 years. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by Coastal Community Credit Union. Bank happy at Coastal Community Credit Union.
And that's it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thanks for joining us. Take care of yourself.